All right, all right, all right. Welcome everybody. We got people coming in from all, holy cow, look at this list filling up. So good. Hey guys, Jordo here, founder of DropFunnels. I've got a very special guest I'll intro here in a moment, but all of you guys who are jumping in right now, glad that you guys could make it live. Man, look at this list. Ooh, baby. Richard, I think it's going to be a good one.
Oh,
Pretty
it's going to be
excited
a good
about this.
one, man.
It's going to be good. Wow, look at this. Man, welcome everyone here. Man, it's so big I can't even read it fast enough. Adrian, Andre, Aubrey, Ben, Blaine, Karina, Carlos, Carmen, Christine. It makes it so convenient that it's in alphabetical order. Welcome all you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here. If you would take a second and throw down, let me know where you guys are watching this webinar from right now in real time. Throw it down into the chat. Let us know where you are at right now. And we're going to get started here in just a moment. We can't waste much time because there's so much content we want to reveal to you guys today. And I can't wait to show it all to you. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to have to dive in really quickly. If you guys are on the replay as well, I want to highly suggest you need to be on my webinars live. I'm telling you, like when Richard and I bring the heat, we bring the heat. So it's important to be here live. But if you're on the replay as well, I hope that you are as diligently taking notes as those who are live here. Let's check into the chat. Man, it looks great. And we are recording this as well. So I'm going to start in about 60 seconds here. And hey, what did, I think it was my dad said, if you're early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late. So I'm already stretching the rules.
Man, we got people from all over. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What's up, Greg from Florida? Molly in Kansas City. Let's go, Maryland. Come on, Aubrey. I love it.
Canada,
North
Midwest,
Carolina,
South Africa,
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's the place right there.
Zambia. Wow. It's a true international wonder here. Look at us go.
Dana Bay, South Africa. Look at that. Claudio from Mexico. What's up, man?
Beautiful.
Good to see you. Dublin, Ireland. Perth, Australia. Kimberly, cool. BC, the greatest place on earth. That's what the sign says anyways.
Up in your hometown. Well, hey guys,
I like you already.
We got to dive in because, as I mentioned a minute ago, there's so much content we have to get through here today. I want to give a huge welcome here to my good friend Richard Shaull, who is the founder and CEO of Unleashed CEO. He's actually right next to me. I'm in Wisconsin. He's in Michigan, so we're not that far. And our synergies are just like this. So if you guys are coming here from the DropFunnels world, welcome back. I'm sure that you guys have seen so much of us hyping up this webinar, and I'm no hype involved. I'm 100% excited for this content because I'm convinced that Richard is one of the most underrated and smart, analytical, probably most like diamond in the rough, unknown geniuses of the world. One of the smartest marketers I know. And so you guys are going to be getting a gold mine here. It's going to be like drinking through a fire hose. It's going to move very quickly. So please, number one for housekeeping here, we're going to go for 60 minutes. Okay. So if you're going to be here, stay here for the 60 minutes. Trust me, Judge Judy is going to have replays. So skip that for now and stay tuned in here for the entire time. Number two, take diligent notes because you're learning really from two marketers who have been doing this and helping lots of other people to create these marketing systems for themselves. So please take it seriously. Take these notes. We could be off on a beach, but instead we wanted to deliver this content here to you guys and give you guys all the value that we can. And number three, we are going to have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation and would love to answer all of your guys' questions. So there's a Q&A box down here somewhere. So you can click on that Q&A box. If you are live right now, it's the benefit of being here live and not waiting for the replay. You can get exact answers directly from Richard, directly from myself in the Q&A box. So please put it there. If it's in the chat, it's going to get lost. So put it in the Q&A. We will go through those individually at the end. We're going for 60 minutes and hold on to your hats because this is going to be out of this world. So, but first, Richard, I got to say, thanks so much for being here, for dedicating your afternoon to teaching some of this stuff, because I know you charge a very reasonable, a high amount for the same content you're giving away here for free. So I appreciate you being here and giving us all the goods.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, Jordan. And DropFunnels for me and our connection and relationship has been so valuable. I mean, the way you guys have shown up and served our clients and made all of the tech of this online marketing game so much easier for them is the least we could do. So I'm fired up, excited to serve the DropFunnels community and those who are not yet part of the DropFunnels community, but are pursuing building automated online marketing systems to grow their companies, and doing that in a way that's stress-free and doesn't require a lot of headache, where you have the support you need. And you guys just do that so well. So it's a pleasure to serve here today, man. And I'm excited to take you guys in.
Love it, man. Dive right in. We've got so much to do in so little time. So guys, strap in. It's going to be like drink it through a fire hose. Like I mentioned, please write diligent notes. This stuff could really impact you and make a difference. This entire concept is all about pre-selling, pre-indoctrinating, and persuading people to work with you before they even get to you. So it is true automation at scale. And so I'm going to be taking notes over here myself. So Richard, I'm going to pass the podium to you, take over. And I'm really excited for what you have to teach.
Let's go, guys. So I want to just first of all honor everyone who took time out of your day to show up here. Okay. Whether you're in the process of starting something or trying to scale a company, you're here because you want to build something great for your family. You want to build something that makes an impact in the marketplace. And I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to two guys on a webinar. My hope for you today is that you would leave with clarity on how to use the principles and frameworks we're going to cover today to actually accelerate your message and your product out to the marketplace and impact more people, which results in maybe you getting back more time freedom as a business owner to spend with family or spend time focused on doing what you love. Okay, so that's my hope. And I just want to encourage you guys that you can do this. I know we live in a day and age where like online marketing has gotten so complex. In fact, a friend and I were talking just recently, and this phrase came out of our conversation. We said, marketing is a mess and nobody knows what to do or who to listen to. Everywhere you go, there's another guru and another thing telling you that they've, got the key. And then when you kind of get into it, there's just a lot of, outdated tactics, a lot of hustle and grind kind of mentality, or really sophisticated, crazy complex software solutions and automations and things you have to kind of wrangle to even get to work. That's not what we're going to tackle here today. I always tell people, and you'll hear this later, I'm an accidental marketer. Okay. I'm not that sophisticated. I'm not that smart. And what I can tell you is I'm the good kind of lazy, which is I don't like hustle and grind tactics. They're going to burn me to the ground and sacrifice time with my family. Okay. So what we're going to tackle and kind of go into today is something that I believe you can do no matter what stage you're in, whether you're technically challenged like me, or you're a tech wizard, whether you've tried a lot of things in the past. I'm going to encourage you to have hope again that you can do this. You can grow your company, and it doesn't have to be based around hustle and grind. It can be something that's sustainable and scalable. And I know that for a fact. And so I'm excited to talk through that with you guys today. So that being said, I'm going to share my screen and we are going to roll. All right. Let's see if you guys can see that okay. Does that work? Can anybody give me a thumbs up, or Jordan, can you let me know if everybody can see that there?
Yep. Looking great.
Love it. So we're going to talk today, guys, about the pre-selling revolution. And I use that term revolution on purpose because 3 simple videos, I believe, can actually revolutionize how you book qualified sales appointments on autopilot. And I want to show you why these 3 pre-selling videos, as I'm going to talk about today, is all you need to create an endless stream of perfect fit clients on autopilot, allowing you to scale without hustle. Okay. And this approach can work with any client-based business that needs a consistent flow of qualified pre-sold sales appointments. So if that's you today and you have revenue goals that you're pursuing and you want to hit, and to do that, you need to get in front of more of your perfect patron, as we like to call it, then this is for you today. Okay. So just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Richard Shaull. I've had the opportunity to scale as either the founder or co-founder 7 high impact businesses and organizations. I've been brought in as a consultant to some billion-dollar organizations and brands, and most recently co-founded Unleash CEO, which has now helped hundreds of service business owners scale with time freedom. And I always say that I'm an accidental online marketer. That wasn't my backdrop. Unleash CEO is a management consulting and staffing firm that kind of got good at internet marketing simply as a result of not listening to what everybody else was saying and doing things way more simple in a way that worked for us. But I remember, guys, literally, not that long ago, feeling like a hypocrite. This is just a few years back. And I was asking myself the question, why can I help others scale their business, but I can't seem to consistently grow mine? And COVID-19 was here to stay. That was like literally when it was kind of all coming out and we knew that this was going to affect the landscape. And right before then, we had just hired a few more key people for our management consulting and staffing firm. And I knew that we had to grow our revenue right away because we were going to lose some clients because of the crisis. And I was determined to not let that stop us from helping more people or having to lay off staff. In fact, it made me even more determined to get our message out. The problem was our marketing was sinking. None of our marketing efforts were working like they did pre-crisis. How many of you guys had to rethink your marketing strategy when the crisis hit, right? Did any of you see any massive changes? Because I know for a fact we did. And COVID for me meant the end of my networking and live event speaking opportunities. And additionally to that, our Facebook account, which was the other kind of source of our revenue, had just gotten banned, right? Which never really worked that well before anyways. But regardless, it really felt like, we didn't have anywhere to turn. Organic marketing, which we were doing, felt really hustle-based, not scalable, and honestly felt a little spammy, right? That's kind of how we authentically felt about how we were doing it. And our referral pipeline had run dry and it wasn't consistently bringing us perfect fit clients. And so I knew if I let this stop me, I knew I'd never be able to look my partner or our team in the face, right? I knew that I would feel like COVID-19 beat me, right? Versus actually overcoming that. And so I knew it was my job as the CEO to fix the money problem. And so as I sat in my office that day, guys, racking my brain, I went back in my memory to a strange experience that I'd had at a conference a few months ago. And out of the blue, a man I didn't know walked up to me in the middle of a conversation I was in, true story, and said, "Can I share something with you?" He said, "I picture you making videos that will impact hundreds of thousands of people, specifically on YouTube. YouTube is going to be big for you." And then he just kind of like said a few other things and walked away. And I was like, wow, that was kind of weird and random, but I was a bit shocked, but I thanked him and, went on about the rest of the conference, right? Only thinking about it a little bit. But now in that moment, as I was racking my brain months later, it came back to me like a light bulb. And the realization was that all of the marketing methods that had failed us depended on me spending loads of time trying to be a great copywriter, not my sweet spot. At my core, I'm a speaker, a mentor, and a teacher. And whenever I, as a company leader, showed up, had natural conversations with other business owners, at networking or, live events, and how our company helped, we would make sales, no problem. But with COVID happening, that wasn't going to work anymore. However, I thought in that moment, what if I just took the natural conversations I was having with people in person and hit record? Turning them into videos that I could consistently put in front of my perfect patron daily. And this was the spark, guys, that really fanned into flame something that transformed our company forever. Over the next few months, through trial and error, I cracked the code on 3 simple videos that consistently moved our perfect patron from not knowing anything about us to being pre-sold buyers, people who showed up on a first call, already pre-sold on what we do, and handed us their credit card at the end of that call, which was absolutely astonishing. And the strategy was dead simple too. It was dead simple. Number one, we created an educational and entertaining video ad that gave our perfect patron a paradigm shift. Now we'll talk about this more later, but essentially what it did is it exposed their root problem and it established us as an authority in their eyes. The second thing we did was we consistently pointed people who viewed that video or opted in back to a second video that would pre-sell them on our proven process to help them. And it consistently, messaged to them in such a way that they really began to see our proven process as the best solution to the painful problem that was illuminated in the ad. And then finally, we would retarget them and put in front of them in every way possible a powerful presentation of our offer via video, so that when they did book a call, or if they already did, the pressure was off and they came onto that call already pre-framed and ready to buy. They showed up and they already knew the offer. And all it at that point felt like was just a Q&A conversation that ended up with them just making an easy decision to hand us our credit card or not. No chasing them down, no trying to persuade them why they needed this. They were already pre-framed. And this was a game changer. This one funnel by itself brought in, not to mention other revenue sources, but it brought in over $1 million in revenue in the middle of a global pandemic and crisis, when most of our avatar was struggling to make payroll. Okay, which I just think is such a testament to the power of these pre-selling videos. And even better, we were able to help scores of our clients save, and I mean save, from like going bankrupt, and scale their businesses by implementing this same strategy to drive millions in automated online sales with perfect patron clients during a pandemic. And this allowed us to, during the same time period, hire 13 full-time A players, finally have confidence that our marketing system was scalable and not hustle-based, all while loving serving our perfect patron, not just raking in revenue that keeps you up at night. And some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But more importantly, I became more confident as a CEO, knowing I can drive growth for our company whenever I need to. And today, guys, I want to break down for you those 3 keys that I just told you in that story and show you how you can implement those same 3 things and create these 3 simple videos, the pre-selling video funnel, as we call it, to get similar results for your business. So let me ask this question. As we dig into key 1, how many of you guys are excited to learn about these keys? All right, drop in the comments, show a little love, let us know you're still here and you're ready to roll today, because we're gonna dig into these keys together. All right, so here we go, guys. Key number 1. Key number 1 is what we call a profitable positioning plan. If you're taking notes, write that down, underline it, add a little light bulb next to it, because this is huge. See, positioning, guys, is the most important strategy in your business. There's a great article on Harvard Business Review that talks about how most businesses' success or failure comes back to their positioning strategy. But most online marketers, most people trying to do funnels, give almost no attention to positioning. They talk about copywriting. They talk about, funnel design. They talk about upsells. They talk about all these different tactical things, when the problem is strategic in nature. Their strategy, their positioning strategy is broken, so none of the tactics actually work for them. Okay? This is what causes people to struggle, is when they haven't nailed their positioning. And without the right positioning, guys, you cannot command the attention or respect of your market, which makes it nearly impossible to be profitable when marketing online. And I got this from Aladdin, by the way. I remember I was watching this old movie with my girls one day, and there's this scene in there that really stuck out to me, where Jasmine is walking through the marketplace and there's all of these, people pitching products to her from the sidelines. And she's going, no, thank you. I don't need any of that, whatever. And I'm like, man, I feel like this is how most online marketing is. Everybody's got an ad. Everybody's got an offer. Everybody's got a bundle. Everybody's got a thing. And everybody's calling out in the marketplaces of, Facebook and these other ad platforms, going, hey, sugar dates and pistachios. But people are getting, they're getting anesthetized to this, and they're starting to feel like, the positioning in that relationship is all wrong. Let me show you what I mean by that. So a great example is, this is what poor positioning for your company looks like, is your prospects view you as a product pusher. You're selling a commodity in their mind. You're competing on price or convenience, and it feels transactional, meaning you have low client connection. And these offers, these funnels, this kind of content is easy to ignore. It's easy to ignore these days. I don't care how good your copywriting is. If you miss this, it's going to be easy to ignore. But in that story, I want you to notice the difference when Aladdin actually comes onto the scene. And Aladdin, by the way, is the immaculate salesperson. He's a con artist, for goodness sakes. But he comes onto the scene to rescue Jasmine from a guy who's about to cut her hand off. And the way he positions himself in that environment is as a solution to her problem. And I love this. You know, he comes in and even says something like, she's a little crazy, but he leads her. He's like, hey, trust me, and I'll get you out of this painful problem that you're in. And as a result, Jasmine immediately learns to trust him, and you know, the story's on its way. So this is a great example of what profitable positioning looks like, right? It's where you and your company are viewed as a preeminent expert, where you're selling a solution, right? This allows you to command premium prices and terms, and your relationship with the client is viewed as transformational, which is going to result in high client connection and overall higher customer lifetime value, which is the driver of all profitable business models. And when you message and position yourself this way, you become impossible to ignore to your perfect patrons. And a common misconception that I see people believe all the time, guys, is they go, well, you know, this online marketing thing just doesn't work for my industry. Or I tried Facebook ads, or I tried this, or I tried doing that for my industry. And, you know, it just doesn't work in my industry. Well, my friend, that's not true. There's proven examples of this working across pretty much every industry that you can find. Most often, the reason it didn't work is you have a positioning problem. You have a positioning problem. Your company and product is not positioned in such a way that you are impossible to ignore. And the secret isn't your ads, your platform, the design, the copywriting. It's not about the method. It's about the depth of clarity you have on your market positioning and how that gets communicated. So I want to take you guys in to a unique proprietary framework we've created to help people crystallize their company positioning and their product positioning. And when you nail these 5 Ps, you will be able to simply and easily communicate to your perfect patron in a way that connects with them and that causes them to view you as a preeminent expert. Okay, so here they are. If you're taking notes, make sure you write these down. The first P of positioning is, what is your superpower? What is your superpower? It's amazing to me how many people start their marketing thinking about their avatar, right? And they go, oh, you know, I want to serve this person, or I want to serve this thing. But what they forget is that you don't start with avatar, you start with superpower. You start with, what can our company be the best at? What are we better than 95% of our competitors at? And how do we double down on that one thing that separates us and differentiates us from everyone else in the market? Once you have your superpower nailed, then and only then should you look for your perfect patron. And here's why. Because your perfect patron is the person who most celebrates and needs your superpower. It's really that simple, my friend. Your perfect patron is the person who most celebrates and needs your superpower. Talk about the easiest avatar exercise ever. Once you know who that person is, it becomes so much easier to sell to them, because you're not trying to convince them why they need what you do. They are already aware that your superpower is what they need. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't have to message well and that we don't have to get, you know, intentional with how, you know, we do things, which is why there are 3 more Ps. Okay. Once you know who your perfect patron is, you then must get deep in their heads, deep in their hearts, and understand, what is their painful problem? What is their painful problem? What is the frustrating little everyday things that make up the most pain or frustration in their life? And what is the root problem? And we'll talk more about that later, because it's very important to understand the distinction between the two. Once you understand their painful problem, you can envision with them their promised land. This is the ultimate desire or end outcome that they want from working with your company.
And when you understand this and can message to this promised land, then and only then can you tell them about your proven process. And you can position this proven process as the perfect bridge for your perfect patron to escape their painful problem and enter their promised land. I'm going to say that again. Your proven process, your product, what it is you do, only makes sense to your perfect patron when it is positioned as the way out of their painful problem and into their promised land. And guys, when you nail these 5 P's of positioning, it will change everything about how you message to your market. The point is, when you have these 5 P's consistently in videos that your perfect patron sees, you become impossible to ignore. And people actually enjoy getting your ads because it feels like you're speaking right to them. You guys getting this? Is this making sense so far? Let me know in the chat. Is this making sense?
People are loving this. There is heck yeah. Wow. Curse word. Yeah. This is fire. Definitely. Yep.
Good, guys. I'm so glad you guys are getting value. And I'm the kind of person where I really like to see this kind of stuff in action tangibly. So I want to share with you a quick case study of my client, Luke Mardigan, right? Luke Mardigan is the amazing owner of 2 different businesses. He owns the Mardigan Agency, a multi-million-dollar insurance agency, and he also owns a consulting company that actually consults with other insurance agents. And when we first started working with Luke, it was amazing to me how when we got into the root of all of his problems with scaling, it all came down to positioning. The way they were positioning their agency as well as their consulting company was not completely aligned. It was like they almost had a blind spot. They were biased because they were in their head instead of being in their perfect patron's head. And as soon as they got out of that framework and started to quickly lay out these 5 P's, so much clarity came, and they were able to build their pre-selling video funnel very easily, right? Very easily. And as a result of that, actually create a flood of perfect patrons through their funnel, both for their consulting company and for their agency. And the two kind of bounced off each other, which actually created a really cool synergistic effect. So that hopefully shows you guys the power of nailing your 5 P's of positioning in what would typically be, I think, a very traditional industry that most people would say this stuff wouldn't work for. So whatever questions come to mind for you guys before I move to key number 2, please be sure to drop those in the Q&A box. Don't drop in the chat because we might miss them. Drop them in the Q&A box and we'll definitely address them during the Q&A time at the end. All right, so who's ready for key number 2? You guys got key number 1? Let's go to key number 2. All right, so key number 2, guys, key number 2. Once you have your profitable positioning plan dialed in, it's time to take that plan and that messaging you've created and port it into a pre-selling video funnel. Now, I want to explain this concept of pre-selling real quick because a lot of people don't understand it. The idea of pre-selling is all about putting strategic, relevant pieces of content in front of your perfect patron that shifts their perception of your service to be the preeminent solution to their painful problem. That's what pre-selling is all about. And then consistently staying in front of them and top of mind right up to the moment they're ready to buy. When your prospects don't go through pre-selling, guys, you end up chasing down a lot of half-committed people who aren't really sold on your offer. How many guys grew up in the phase where, everybody talked about doing a strategy call, do a strategy call and, you'll kind of act like you're going to do strategy with them, but then you'll pitch them at the end of your offer, right? And then people get on the call with the wrong presumption and the wrong understanding of what it is. And then at the end, you're asking for their credit card and they're like, I got to think about it. I need to go talk to my aunt. I need to go check my credit card balance. I need to go, right? Y'all been there, right? It's because they didn't come in pre-sold. And as a result of that, right, they're going to shop you against their competition. They're going to ghost you. And generally you have been positioned so poorly in that sales conversation. Right? So difficult. to close people that way, right? Unless you're just a master salesperson. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is skip that time wasting process entirely by creating a strategic automated funnel of pre-selling videos. You just need 3 that handles 80% of questions and objections before someone even schedules a call with you. Okay. When you do this right, it is amazing how pre-framed to buy people come into those calls. And a common myth here, guys, is like, well, some people would say like, well, that's not what my competitors are doing. You know, I don't, you know, I don't see my competitors doing video. They're doing X, Y, Z, or, you know, I need to be doing SEO, or I need to be doing this, or, you know, and let me just tell you, it's a really bad plan for you to copy your competitors' tactics. And let me tell you why. Because you should be building pre-selling assets. The reason for this is if you're a smaller, scrappier company that's trying to act like Goliath, you will lose. Okay. If you try to go toe to toe with Goliath and you put on armor and you put a sword on and you try to go toe to toe with Goliath, you will lose. How many of you guys know that? Okay. But what I love about the story of David and Goliath is that David showed up and he changed the rules of the game on Goliath by wielding a sling and a stone. He didn't do what the giants were doing. He did something that was innovative and different that actually allowed him to win the day. And I actually believe that that is the approach smaller, entrepreneurial, scrappier companies like us need to take. We can't go toe to toe with the big, you know, ad budget companies and the big SEO companies that they have these, you know, massive websites. That's not the strategy that's going to take you through. You got to go simple and direct. And what the analogy I love to use, I like a lot of movies, old movies, as you guys can tell, is there's this great scene in Indiana Jones where this guy comes out onto the scene and he's swinging this sword, and then Indiana Jones just like mows him down with a gun, right? But this is what it feels like to be a smaller, scrappier company bringing a knife to a gunfight, okay? You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's what competitors, that's what copying competitors is akin to, okay? So stop trying to beat them at their game. Instead, change the rules of the game by innovating and doing what they aren't doing. And I love this. Like, what if you flipped the script and, you know, instead of having a gun, you have a bazooka, right? You just literally blow the competition out of the water. That's what I actually believe pre-selling videos can do for you. It is a quantum leap into a category that most of your competitors are not even swimming or playing in yet. Okay. Pre-selling videos is that bazooka, guys. It's that weapon. And I want to show you with actual tangible proof and studies and statistics why that is the case. So here's 5 video marketing stats you guys need to know. Number 1, videos boost conversions and sales. Literally adding explainer videos to your landing page increases conversions by up to 80%. 80%. Video is more effective because it's the type of information is transmitted to our brain is visual, which is the way our brain actually learns. And that builds so much more trust, so much more quickly. Number 2, video shows great ROI without high production costs. So a lot of people who are listening would say, well, man, I just don't have a big budget to hire a big, you know, some big advertising firm. I don't have a production crew. I don't have a DSLR. I don't have a fancy camera. I don't have a fancy lighting rig, right? Here's the thing that I love about video. Good news is your videos don't have to be perfect. It's the content that matters. Right? The latest research shows that users are mostly put off by videos that don't explain the service clearly enough. Comes back to positioning, right? Low quality and poor design didn't matter nearly as much. I love this saying. So it's fair to say that video is like pizza. When it's bad, it's still pretty good. When it's bad, it's still pretty good. So hopefully that puts your mind to rest if you don't have a good video setup yet. Number 3, video builds trust. Trust is the foundation of conversions. 57% of consumers say that videos gave them more confidence to purchase online. Video ads work wonders, guys. Hear this. The average click-through rate of video ads is 1.84%. That's the highest click-through rate by far of all digital ad formats. And guys, the last thing I'm going to say on this, and I haven't mentioned YouTube a lot up to this point, but your perfect clients are on YouTube, the biggest video platform on the planet. 90% of people say they discover new brands on YouTube. And I'm just going to tell you right now, there is still a blue ocean to be found there if you have the right positioning strategy and the right sequence of videos. It's not just enough to put out random organic videos, right? It's not just enough to kind of, throw a couple things out there. You definitely need some strategy to it, but there is a huge blue ocean waiting to be tapped for most industries and markets there right now. So you might be asking, but what if I'm not good on video, or I don't know what to say, or, what videos would I even need to create? And let me tell you this, my friend, the videos are very simple. There are only 3 videos you need to create. And I promise you, even if you're not good on video, if you know how to talk about what your company does, then you can create these videos, right? If you know how to literally just explain and have natural conversations with your perfect patron about their problems and your solution, then you can do these 3 videos. And they're really this simple. First, before I show you the videos, I want to tell you the why behind the what on these videos, okay? You have to understand that the goal with these videos is to move people from one end of the spectrum all the way to the point where they're pre-sold and ready to make a decision, right? So one end of the spectrum would be like, they're not even aware of you. And the other end of the spectrum is like, hey, I'm ready to buy from you. Okay, so the goal of each one of these videos is to move people down this pre-selling video funnel. Okay, so the first stage of the funnel that your buyer is in is what I call pain aware, right? They're just pain aware. And what that means is they may not even be aware of their root problem, and they're certainly not aware of you as a solution, but they are aware that they have a pain or a frustration that is causing them problems that they are aware of. And so the second stage is problem aware, right? That's where they actually don't just understand what their pain is or their frustration is. They understand the underlying problem that is actually causing those pains, not the symptom, the root source, okay? Thirdly, you have people who are solution aware. And these are people who not only know they have pain and know they have a problem, but they know that there is a solution to their problem, and they are actively searching for that solution. And then lastly, you have decision. This is when somebody decides to hand over a credit card. They are pre-sold on a specific solution that they are ready to pay money for to get their problem solved, okay? Now, the problem for most markets is a lot of their market is in the top 2 categories. Even people who say they're solution aware, like they just want to buy a, transactional service, for example, they're actually not problem aware. So as a result, they're only pain aware. They're not even truly problem aware, and they have a misperception of what their solution even is. Okay. That's a great way to think about for many of you guys who think you're in a solution aware market. So how do you move people down this funnel so that they don't come into calls with you just pain aware and unable or unwilling to make a decision? Well, this is how we do it. The first thing we do is something very simple called a paradigm shifting video ad. Paradigm shifting video ad. This is the simplest ad you've ever created. And all it requires that you do is speak to your perfect patron's pain, and then using your industry expertise, give them a simple but powerful paradigm shift that helps them shift their attention and focus off their pain to their root problem. This actually establishes you as an authority in their eyes, and psychology shows that giving someone a paradigm shift is the fastest way to establish trust with someone. It's the fastest way to establish trust. It's like going to the doctor and you tell the doctor some of your symptoms. And what does he do? Prescribe a solution. You see the doctor as an authority because you know that he understands your pain, but he has also identified your root issue. And this is what the paradigm shifting video does, is it shifts people from just pain aware to being problem aware. So what do we do once people are problem aware? Well, from there, we create a very simple video, can be very short, oftentimes, anywhere from 4 to 15 minutes. Doesn't have to be crazy long, can be longer than that for certain markets, but we call it the pre-sold presentation. And this moves people from being aware of their problem at a deep level. It gives them deep level awareness of their problem. And then it brings them into being solution aware, where you actually make them aware that there is a true solution to that issue. And when you do this in your pre-sold presentation, you are positioned in a category of your own that your competitors cannot touch, because none of them explained their problem as well as you did. So therefore, none of them know the solution to prescribe as well as you do, right? And that is what the pre-sold presentation does, moves people from problem aware to solution aware. But then we've still got one more step. Someone can be solution aware, but it doesn't mean that they're fully ready to hand over their credit card until they have all their questions and objections satisfied. And this is why we create what we call a power offer video. And the power offer video is intended to move people who are solution aware into a clear decision-making state where they are ready to make a decision by the time they come onto a call with you, and they are equipped with the details and tactical understanding that they need to intelligently make that decision and hand you the money to solve their problem. Okay. Can you guys see how these 3 simple videos move people all the way from not knowing who you are to actually being somebody who's ready to make a decision to buy from you, right? This is amazing. It's amazing how effective this process is. And it's amazing to me how much of marketing ignores this simple customer journey, okay? All the way from pain aware to the point of decision, right? Not 50, not 30, 3. Love it. How many of you guys have been a part of a, marketing, I don't know, training or something before where, they told you, yeah, you just have to make all this different content. You need this story and you need this thing and you need this email and you need all these things and you need these videos and you need this massive presentation and you need, and I was doing all those things before too. And I was confused, overwhelmed, and it felt like I was doing everything and getting very, very little results for the amount of effort that I was putting in. And this to me simplified it down to 3 simple conversations with my perfect patron that I would have. 3 simple conversations. Conversation number 1, shift their paradigm and help them see the root problem behind their pain. Conversation number 2, help them see how our proven process is the best solution to their painful problem. And number 3, give them all the information to eliminate the objections and know why our offer is one that they should take us up on, right? And this is the process that has absolutely transformed our company and I believe can transform yours. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time tactically on this, guys, because we're running close on time. So paradigm shifting video ads make you relevant. Like I just said, the pre-sold presentation is something you can pull straight from your 5 P's of positioning document, plug and play, copy and paste, and have done in, an hour or 2. And then you set up a strategic website funnel that does all of this for you. DropFunnels, they've already got all of this built out. They've made it so hassle-free and so technically easy, right, to do this. But this funnel allows you to take people all the way from pain aware, all the way to the decision point where they land on your calendar as a pre-sold appointment. And we'll talk more about this strategy later, but there's ways you can actually automate these 3 videos using retargeting, very, very inexpensive advertising to get these videos consistently in front of the right people and move them down the funnel all the way to when they're ready to make a decision and book an appointment with you. And that's what this outlines right here. Okay, so guys, go ahead and put in the comments what questions, comments, ideas, concerns come up for you guys as you're thinking about implementing a pre-selling video funnel in your unique context. I want to know what those questions are. Put them in the Q&A and we'll make sure we address them before we leave here today. And I'm going to quickly tell you guys Rick Abbey's story as an example of the pre-selling video funnel. Rick Abbey owns an amazing company. They were doing about 1.5 million in revenue when we first started working with them. And he's in the medical industry, one of the most traditional industries ever. Okay. Traditional industries ever. But now, as a result of implementing the pre-selling video funnel, he's actually added in the last 6 months alone, he has doubled his business. They were at 1.5 million in revenue. They've almost done 3 million in revenue now over the last 12 months as a result of implementing this process. Edward, I see your question. Make sure you put that man in the Q&A. I want to address that because we have a residential property management client and they're crushing it. Okay, key number three, twin engine traffic system. Jordan, I'm going to have to move fast, bro. I'm going to have to move fast. I mean, I know we're going to be doing a deep dive for your kind of inner circle partner program clients later on all this stuff, but
hey, yeah. And just so everyone's aware, like we've got, clearly we've got so little time to cover this at a high level. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to dive in a lot deeper and even to have this set up for you in your own business. So like, just stay tuned for that. Keep taking notes. Like, don't miss out on anything. Just keep in mind that we're going to tell you guys in a few minutes, how we can dive in deeper with you.
100%. Thanks for that. Nate, make sure you drop in the Q&A. I just want to make sure that doesn't get missed. I'd love to answer that question about how the power offer stage is different from the pre-sold presentation. So, all right, last one for today, guys, and I'm going to move through this at light speed. But the last thing you need is traffic to your funnel, to your pre-selling video funnel. And this is where most businesses get this wrong. You need a twin engine traffic system, as I call it. Okay, twin engine traffic system. And this is really important, guys, because you typically need more than one traffic source. Okay, let me say that again for the people in the back. The safest and most scalable way to build your business is on not one, but two traffic sources. You need an organic traffic source and you need a paid. Okay, one without the other is incomplete. Paid, you're dependent on someone else's algorithm. Organic, you're dependent on some level of personal or manual effort or the referrals of your clients. You need both working in tandem to build a stable, dependable lead generating machine. Okay. And that's basically, guys, what I'm going to cover in this. Okay. It increases your profit margins, right? And you've probably tried, right? Paid traffic, other forms of traffic, buying ads media, right? All these different things. And it felt like putting together a puzzle with pieces missing, right? Maybe you've pulled your hair out trying to set up tech and web pages and emails and ads for yourself in the past. Or maybe you hired a marketing agency and a guru or a bunch of freelancers to help you figure all this out, right? Instead of a puzzle, you end up with a patchwork quilt where everybody's doing different things that don't quite match up and don't quite work. How many of you guys have ever identified with what I just described? You ever done that in your business? Okay, me too. And I've been there. And this is the easy button on this stuff, guys. This is the easy button. Are you guys ready for the easy button on how to get traffic into your funnels? I promise you, this is the easy button. Outsourcing your marketing is not the answer. No guru wants to tell you that because they want to sell you something and it's easier. Outsourcing your marketing is not the answer. Okay. Instead, you need to invest in building a system you own and understand that can scale with you. And sometimes this does look like hiring help with strategy and tech. I'm not technical. I'm not always able to read the label from inside the jar when it comes to strategy, but you got to take ownership to create the system for your business. And it's way easier than you think it is because no one knows your perfect patron like you do. And if you just get clear on a couple things, right? Most paid traffic fails because they hire an agency or they try to DIY it and they just throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. But if you actually have your positioning dialed in and your content dialed in, it becomes so easy and so clear how you can target the traffic sources where your perfect patron is already hanging out and is just waiting for your videos to find them. Okay. I promise you, when your positioning is dialed in, this becomes so easy. The easy button for getting paid traffic right is doing the positioning and content first. And there's not a single client I've worked with where once we've nailed the positioning and nailed the actual content based on that positioning, that we're not able to open up a worksheet just like this and get incredibly clear on exactly who we're going to target. And get incredibly clear on what websites they visit, what keywords they're searching for, and what built-in audiences already exist, especially on YouTube, which there's a ton of them. And guys, I promise you, this can be a game changer for you if you will own this and take responsibility for your marketing system and go and firmly put a flag in the ground today and say, no one knows my perfect patron like I do. I'm going to hire out tech setup. I'm going to get help on strategy. but I'm also going to work to dial in my positioning and dial in my content so that when it comes time to run paid traffic, it's obvious and easy who we need to target. And if you are trying to do paid traffic and it's not obvious and easy to you, I guarantee you, you have a problem in positioning or you have a problem in your content. It's almost never the ads. It's almost never the actual ad management. And anybody who actually knows what they're talking about will tell you that's the case. All right. I'm going to skip through some of this, guys, because we don't have time to tackle it in this time. We'll tackle it more in the deep dive. Talking about metrics and how you actually win at online advertising. But here's what I want you guys to know. I believe that the best platform right now that is a blue ocean is YouTube ads. I'm just encouraging you guys, with the way the world is changing and how people are consuming video content over written content, there is no platform that does it. However, it's very difficult to get started. Google Ads is much harder to master DIY over Facebook unless you have your content and positioning dialed in. It's not like Facebook where you can just throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks, and Facebook's algorithm will figure it out over time, right? You have to have that stuff dialed in, which is what makes this actually work, which is why I wanted to harp on that. Guys, once you have your front end YouTube traffic, you can set up and retarget people all across the internet and get people to manage that for you and optimize it for you. So guys, if you have questions about paid traffic, I'm going to defer that into the Q&A section. Put that in the Q&A section right now. If you have questions on our twin engine traffic system or how to actually win at that, I'd love to answer that in the Q&A time, but I had to blaze through that really fast for time's sake. So before we go into Q&A, I want to ask this question. Guys, can you see how this system could bring you new qualified pre-sold appointments on autopilot? Do you guys see how actually these 3 simple videos are not only something that you could easily execute on, right, and easily create with the right help, but if they were consistently put in front of your perfect patron, would lead them all the way from being pain aware, right, all the way to being ready to make a decision when they get on a call with you? Yes, absolutely. I can see it. Awesome, guys. I believe that for your business too, which is why Jordan and I have designed a really simple way for you guys to implement this pre-selling video funnel for your business simpler and faster using DropFunnels. Dude, we've got something pretty special lined up for this group today, don't we, Jordan?
I am so stoked right now. I could just fall over. I could literally just die.
So let me tell you guys what it is. Let me just take you guys through it, and Jordan and I will walk you through this offer. Is everybody okay with that? Jordan was Santa Claus, man. He's bringing presents.
Ooh, presents for everybody. Let's go.
Let's go. So I want to introduce you guys to the DropFunnels Partner Program. My company, myself, we are raving fans of the DropFunnels Partner Program. And I believe that this is the most valuable marketing membership on the planet. And it's made even better for you guys today. Okay, it's made even better for you guys today. And here's what you're going to get when you join the DropFunnels Partner Program today. All right, the first thing we're going to give you guys is the pre-selling masterclass live. Remember earlier, guys, how I said, hey, we can't cover all the tactics of this day because of the time constraints, but we're going to go much deeper, answer every question, and get every piece of this system fleshed out for you where you can go act on it later on. You guys remember when I said that? Well, this is where we're going to do this. And this is going to be something that you will leave walking away with the exact battle plan that you need to implement the pre-selling video funnel we just talked about in today's training.
Hey, and by the way, guys,
you're going to get
for context there, inside the partner, and we're going to talk more about this in a moment here, but like to unlock the specifics about this, like really does require a workshop deep dive. And getting the information is great, but getting the implementation about how does this work for me and how do I get this moving for myself quickly and as simply as possible to start to finally see results from it. That's why I've invited Richard directly in. And so that's coming into all the partners who are currently in there right now. You guys are getting access to that deep dive workshop training. And we're going to be doing that actually this upcoming week to give you guys access to this full 2-hour-long workshop where we're going to go into the absolute like nitty gritty. So just be aware that even if all the details aren't perfectly clear, we have to dive in deeper. It's almost like if we're going to build a car, we can't do that in a day. We have to really get our hands dirty and get some things going. So that's why we wanted to have this masterclass workshop and do this live with you guys to work with you as if we're in a room together.
100%, Jordan. Well said. Well said. The second thing, guys, that you're going to get in tandem with that really will allow you to build with us live on that masterclass is the 5 P's of positioning swipe file. I wish, guys, I could help you understand how powerful this swipe file is for your business. It is the easy button for nailing online marketing that you wish you would have gotten years ago. And I wish I would have had years ago. The 5 P's are really good theoretical concepts, but it's how you nail them that matters. And in these swipe files, you're going to nail these 5 P's of positioning: your superpower, your perfect patron, their painful problem, their promised land, and your proven process, and how you position it in such a clear, simple way that it will be something you can reference back to anytime you shoot a video, anytime you write an email, anytime you create any sort of marketing message or content at all. That will be your go-to move that you or anyone else in your company can use to replicate the positioning of your company into any marketing message you do. I wish I could even just help you understand. We've had clients who have literally paid us, $15,000, and we go through this and nail this with them, and they go, "This is going to change my business for forever, and this alone was worth my investment with you guys." Like, getting that nailed was worth it. And we're going to help you guys get that nailed next week. Number 3, the pre-sold presentation template. The pre-sold presentation template. So if you guys remember, this is the critical middle part of that pre-selling video funnel. This is going to be a copy and paste paint by numbers template. You will literally be able to go to your 5 P's of positioning document, and the pre-sold presentation template will say copy and paste from 2.3 onto this slide. Okay, and then the next slide, copy and paste from 4.1 into this slide, right? And by the end, you'll have a fully complete presentation in a matter of hours, not days or weeks, just based on the paint by numbers approach from the 5 P's of positioning right into the pre-sold presentation. It's going to save you guys massive, massive time, and you'll come out with something that's punchy and powerful and explains your proven process in a way that is differentiated and the right solution for your perfect patron. You're also going to get a one-click import of our pre-selling video funnel template in DropFunnels. This would literally be, guys, the DropFunnels team is going to literally go into your account, import this funnel for you, and hook up your custom domain without you having to do a thing. Right? They're going to done for you, take care of that funnel getting set up. And all you're going to have to do is just plug in the content, right? Plug in these videos after you film them. How cool will that be? That literally you don't have to funnel hack and do all sorts of other crazy stuff and look at what other people are doing and deal with tech. They're going to get that set up for you guys. You film the videos, hit record, put them in the funnel, and you're done, right?
Yeah. And
go ahead.
This is really exciting for all of you guys who are coming in kind of really brand new to the partner program. Really what the partner program is that we know that there's a lot of noise and confusion in the marketing space. I'm sadly, I have been in previous years part of that noise and realized that I want to give you guys everything now to make it simpler, faster, easier, and much more affordable than trying to go like buy $2,000 courses and hire this $20,000 mentor and hoping that YouTube videos can give you what you need and this software and this software and this software. We're saying literally we're creating for you the absolute world's most valuable marketing membership where everything is in under one roof. And we work with you over the year to really help you to maximize what you can have done in a year. I think it's Tony Robbins that says you often overestimate what you can do in 1 year, but underestimate what you can do in 5. And in that way, I think the same thing happens that we think we can get a lot done in a month. You would be shocked at what you can get done in a year with dedicated and diligent focus, speed, and clarity. And so that's why we literally have some done for you elements involved in this annual program where you can get access to virtually everything that we have. It's the same thing that we provide in our 15K programs, but instead you're getting it in a kind of a nice tight package with a big red bow on top.
Love that, man. It really is the best. I can honestly say, like, I've been a part of $25,000 masterminds that does not deliver the value that the DropFunnels team does within the partner program. I mean, no joke. Like, it's just absolutely incredible.
So we also know that there's a couple things that this is really for all of you guys who are here. I'm not sure where you came from. If you're not familiar with DropFunnels in general, it really is the world's fastest loading and highest ranking from an SEO perspective, funnel and marketing platform that you can be on, period, full stop. Most pages load in under 2 seconds. So you're already building yourself in an infrastructure. So as part of the partner program, you get DropFunnels. So DropFunnels is built into this 100%. Entire partner program, which is insane. So you can go buy software elsewhere and go do it on your own and add all these things on top. And instead of saying you get all of it built into one. So this next thing here is this custom authority site design. We noticed that one of the biggest things that we see is about, especially if you're running traffic, about 10 to 30% of your paid traffic will actually fall off of your funnel, and they're going to go back to your root domain to find out more about you. In fact, we see that in our own advertising. We see if people go to a DropFunnels funnel and we're talking about the software or partner program, they will leave that funnel and go sign up from the homepage. So people are actually researching you before they buy. And if you don't maximize that with some type of a page to establish your authority as an expert. Now, look, you can go spend, I'm not even kidding. This is probably an understatement, $2,000 to $5,000 to get an authority page designed for you to make your content and make your business shine. We're actually including that in here. We've got a very streamlined process to enable this. And we've built out a lot of things that helps us to speed that up. And so that's why we're able to make it as affordable as we do right now. Richard, you want to keep clicking on that there? I'm not sure which ones are next. Yeah, awesome. So weekly coaching as well, guys. We actually do every Monday. In fact, then the next one we do here is going to be with Richard in this deep dive, is weekly coaching, live coaching with us to give you access to what's happening now in marketing, brand new trainings and resources, and frankly, accountability and support to make sure that you're not alone. I think the entrepreneurship journey is actually very lonely. In fact, Richard's in a room right now by himself. I'm in a room by myself, and Zoom is great. It's been a great connection tool for most of us, but it's also been extremely lonely. Let me ask you guys, how many of you guys feel like you've been lonely in that regard? And let me ask this question. For those of you who are in partner program or mastermind, if you guys are in that right now, just put down below, give me a yes or no. Is it worth at least 10 times what you've invested into it? No hyperbole, no pulling my leg. Don't blow my giant head full of more hot air. I want to know, for those of you guys are in it right now, is it worth at least 10 times what you put into it? Tons of yeses. So obviously we have a lot of excited partners here as well. So what's the next one there? We got Richard, because we want to give you guys a high level of this. The fill in the blank email swipes, because you're actually going to get my personal highest converting email swipes. And that's also built into a course. What do we got next? Access to our core incubator. Actually, we give you all of our courses. We do have reserved some for our higher level clients. However, for whenever we come out with something new, we add it directly in there. So there's email, there's the core incubator, which is how you launch a business in 30 days. And this masterclass training, the deep dive, is going to be built directly into those courses. So you're going to have evergreen access to that. If you guys are a current partner program member, there's going to be all of the files, everything you need for you to implement this, and the share funnels to get it directly into your account. If you're not yet a user, then we're also going to be setting this up for you as part of your done for you credits there. So do we have more? I think that's it,
man. That's the entire stack here. We said earlier we almost couldn't fit it on one slide, but we kept it to one, thankfully.
Yeah.
Guys, listen, as you guys are listening today, I can tell you without a doubt that, to get all of these things, you could go and DIY some of this on your own. You could go kind of figure out some of it on your own, and you'll waste, hundreds of hours and probably thousands of dollars working with other providers. You really will. Thousands upon thousands. I think what Jordan and his team have put together, along with the Unleashed CEO team here, is worth, is worth being, a high ticket offer. We could sell this. Honestly, we probably could package the same thing up with just a little bit of a different structure and sell it for $15,000, $20,000. We have hundreds of times, right? But because of we believe in our partnership with DropFunnels and our commitment with them, you're not going to pay $20,000. You're not going to pay $10,000. You're not going to pay $5,000, right? You guys can get access to all of this and more in the DropFunnels partner program for $297 a month. or an annual subscription of what, Jordan?
$2,997. Yep. And so actually this is something special as well. What we wanted to do during this next 72 hours actually is, because here's what happened. Like, guys, whenever you launch a brand new offer, like we did with the partner program a couple months back, we started building a lot of sites, and doing all this build out. And we realized, man, this is like way too valuable. We have to put some buffer on this, because like other people are just selling software for what we're selling this for. And it's like too valuable for the price. So what we instituted was $1,000 setup fee and $297 a month. And it's an annual handshake. It's a commitment to work through this process for the year and work through and help you to grow and scale. And ultimately, let's see, I can highlight there. Let's see, can we see each other together? There we go. Okay. And so what we're actually going to do for the next 72 hours is anyone who enrolls, you can go to dropfunnels.com/unleashed to get kicked off with this. We are waiving the $1,000 setup fee. So you are not going to pay that $1,000 setup fee. You get to pick between the $297 a month or the $2,997 for the year, which gives you an added benefit of saving some cash as well, to lock that in inside the partner. Like literally, it's like people, we get it all the time. People are saying this is too much. Like any one of our individual courses, or just the setup, or just these funnel templates, or just the deep dive, people sell for $3,000 all day long, all over the internet. And instead we're giving all of it. There's probably 10 or 20 individual pieces, coaching, support. We even have a dedicated Slack workspace for the DropFunnels partners, so you guys can get quicker access directly to us. Any one of those people are selling for $3,000 each. And instead we're saying, hey, let's give it all in together. And we believe that this synergy and partnership is what's going to really help a lot of you guys get really where you want to go. So for the next 72 hours, we're going to be doing that $1,000 setup fee is going to be completely waived. You have to go right now though to dropfunnels.com/unleashed and sign up for the partner program. Or if you are a current DropFunnels member already, you can upgrade in your back office to the partner program. Go to your billing tab and upgrade that, and you'll be able to take advantage of this entire offer as well. There will be additional notes provided to you guys on Monday's live call, which is going to be at 10 a.m. Central Time. And for those of you who are on the replay, if you guys are seeing this, regardless of when you are, you'll be given access either live if you haven't seen it yet, or access to the course as well with all the goodies and everything involved there. So, but it's 72 hours. We're not kidding about that because we think it's just too valuable. So $297 a month or $29.97 for the entire year. And frankly, it's kind of what we call a stupid offer, Richard. It's kind of a stupid offer. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's kind of bad.
Stupid, Felix says. You just got called stupid, Jordan. I love it.
Stupid.
No,
Felix is one of
here's
our.
the thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's the thing I could speak to on this, guys. The last thought for me. If all this did for you was give you the confidence that you could actually film videos and put them out and get in front of your perfect patron, if all it did was make your sales calls a little bit shorter and easier, right? Would it be worth it? And for me, like I spend $297 on, like, I don't know, you can spend that at a fancy dinner, like take your wife out somewhere like really fancy.
Email autoresponder.
It's like, yeah, it's like, for goodness sakes, to be able to get access to the system at that price point is just stupid. And we're actually even making it a little bit extra stupid for the people who are on live. That's right. We're not offering this to anybody who's on the replay. We're not talking about this to anybody else who's here. But Jordan, why don't you tell them, man, for what the first 50 people who sign up for this offer, what they're going to get?
Actually, yeah. And so this is on top of everything. Everyone perk up right now. You guys ready for this? Everyone perk up. And then we're going to do questions and wrap up because I'm going to go relax with family. But actually, I think I'm going to change my mind, Richard. I think I'm going to pull an audible. We were going to do 50 and I've decided instead I'm going to do 20.
Yep.
20 people. I changed my mind. For the first 20 people who grab this deal and jump in on dropfunnels.com/unleashed or upgrade your plan, right? 2 partners, and you jump in, you're saying, yes, I want to work more closely with you guys to finally win in business, help you get where you want to go. For the first 20 people, myself personally, or Richard personally, is going to be doing an entire review after the team builds out your funnel and you put in all the pieces that you need in place there, we're personally going to review and give you feedback on what's being built with improvement points to ensure that it is 100%, like personally. So it's going to be him or myself. Like we're selling our time at this point. Like we probably really don't need to, but for the first 20, I'm not kidding. It's 20 people. Like I'm not doing number 21. This is my time. It's Richard's time. We're very busy. We're both leading large growing companies, and we'd frankly rather spend time with kids. But instead, when you guys are done with your complete build out, we're going to send you guys off. We're going to review all your stuff, review your funnel, make sure that your stuff is, and I don't care if it's now or in 3 months from now, get it done as soon as possible, dude, get it done. Then we will review it and send you off a Loom video with some additional responses, personalized feedback to help you to get that going. So, but I'm not adding, Richard, no more bonuses. I think we're done.
No more bonuses.
We've added too much to this. That's it. There's no other, any other bonuses. Let's run through a couple questions here, but we'll do this
rapid fire.
Maybe rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Richard, how can we apply this to real estate agents?
Have a real estate agent client right now crushing it, even in the midst of a crazy housing market. What he's doing is he's taking these same 3 videos. They're very short and tight. And the same 3 videos is taking people from a place of, people who think that they can't list their house because they're way too busy. He's targeting busy professionals, entrepreneurs, these different groups of people who are like, I know I should sell my house right now, but I just don't have the time. And they've put together this special offer where they're bundling together something really slick that we help them do to be able to convince those people that that problem is an issue, and they are picking up listings nobody else can pick in the midst of the biggest listing shortage in history and crushing it because of their pre-selling video funnel. So absolutely can be applied to real estate.
Hey, I've got a question for anyone who's here. We've got, it looks like top of the hour, some people may have had to drop. How many of you guys are in this right now? I want to say, like, put that down in the chat. If you guys are not yet a partner and you're wanting to dive into this, I want to know, are you in? I want to know who's joining the partner program today. Throw that in the comments and say, I'm in. And we want to celebrate you for making that decision to work more closely with us. Raymond wants to know, how do you connect all these videos together on video? So it sounds like he wants to get started like right away creating all this stuff. So like, how do you maybe connect those 3 different pieces together? How do I look at that more holistically?
Yeah, I think what it comes down to, man, is it's really about the funnel. And that's where DropFunnels really shines, is it's just understanding, what step 1 is, the first video you want them to watch, and how that leads them to step 2, and how step 2 leads them to step 3. And then, in a very, again, if you want to sophisticate, taking a very, very small ad budget and knowing how to intentionally retarget people who are at different stages in that funnel, even if they click away, with the right piece of video content they haven't watched yet, that will move them to the next stage in the funnel.
We got a question here on the site. How do I do the annual option? So you can do $2,997 or $297 a month. If you want to do the annual option, just grab the monthly right now. Go ahead and grab that account, and then we'll work with you to ensure that you get activated for the annual plan. So don't worry about that at all. Just biggest thing is to grab one of the first 20 spots so that you're in, and grab that. And it starts just on the monthly plan. And then we can help you on our support team on the back end. Can I do this organically? I'm the small and scrappy entrepreneur and it's just me. Can we do this? Can you? So
yes. So the short answer is yes. The short answer is yes, you can do it organically. It just depends on how much lead flow you want to generate. So what I would say is, typically what I've seen with clients is they do some organic things with the same funnel in place. It's actually a great way to validate the success of your funnel before you go to paid traffic. And then they're taking the sales and the wins they're getting organically and then reinvesting that in driving more lead flow, which allows them the ability to hire other people, build their team. I know that was a huge team builder. It gave us the ability to build our team and almost double our team, more than double our team in the time frame that this really made a huge difference for our company. So the answer is absolutely yes. You can start organically, get a couple wins on the board, and then reinvest a portion of that revenue into continuing to grow the lead flow using paid ads.
Yeah. And I think I want to kind of also address the mindset, because I know there's a lot of people who are just starting, and trust me, we honor you and the fact that you were just starting. We all were just starting at one point, but I want to kind of defeat the mindset that like, you're always going to be small and scrappy, right? Don't believe that you're always going to be small and scrappy. Like, you can literally start an ad budget for $5 a day, right? To start getting some leads moved in that direction, even just to dip your toes in the water. And the mindset to go into any advertising with is that, first of all, yes, I can do this. You have to believe, yes, I can do this, and you can do this, right? And two, that you're always buying results. When people say Facebook doesn't work, it's often because they boosted a post or something, and so they donated to Zuckerberg. They just did it wrong, right? Or they didn't know what to track. They didn't know how to do it. They just threw money out and said, I didn't get money back. That's kind of a field of dreams mindset, which I think is pretty dangerous. So instead, you always have to think about, okay, if I put in $5, I'm getting impressions. I'm getting people seeing my ad, and I'm getting data back on whether or not people are going to my page. Are they clicking over? Are they opting in? Are they watching my videos? And pushing them down that cycle. But especially if you're geo-targeted, like if you're in a small area, you can even get more laser targeted in your advertisement. So that's good. Good question. Will this work with ClickBank? I think probably a more succinct question is, will this work with affiliate marketing?
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I could share more on that, but I know we're trying to do rapid fire.
Yeah,
so the answer is yes.
It works for any offer.
I've seen it work with affiliate marketer. We have an affiliate marketing client. So they have a little bit of a higher end offer. So if what you're selling as an affiliate is like really, really uber low ticket, you might have to change your approach to traffic and cost, like the costs incurred by traffic as you start to scale. But absolutely, it can work as an affiliate marketer.
Do you reveal the price in your power offer video, or do you wait maybe for?
No, but you can pre-frame them on the price, and those two are very different things.
Specifically for high ticket or mid ticket? High ticket
or mid ticket. Yep, you can pre-frame. There's ways to pre-frame and anchor that where it will repel people. Or your application will be able to sniff that out, that, if they're really not able to afford the price of your services, but you don't reveal the price, but you do pre-frame it. Yep.
And we'll dive more into those individual decisions in the deep dive as well. So, you mentioned how YouTube is a powerful tool for ads regarding videos, but how well does this work organically? I think we talked about that on Instagram. Hey, Rico, I think I'll probably take that one. So like, generally traffic is one of two things. It is an end destination and it's an audience. So if you have a massive organic audience, that can be more powerful than paid advertising, like way 100%. More powerful. Like, one of the, like Kylie Jenner, is that her name? She does one Instagram post and people pay her $250,000, $500,000 for one post because they have that audience. Right. So for the company, it's paid advertising, right? But they're just diving into an audience to send them to a destination. So absolutely put your, pre-selling video funnel into the bio of your Instagram profile so that when people click on your bio, like that's where they end up. Same as.
And just to add to that real quick, Jordan, there's a reason why, and we'll cover this more in the deep dive. It's called the twin engine traffic system. It's not paid ads versus organic. It's both working in tandem. I'm just a big fan of choosing one paid advertising platform in the beginning to get started on. We now run ads. We run ads on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're everywhere, right? Google Display, Google Discovery, all of those networks. But in the beginning, you want to start in one place. And if there's one place you want to start with video, it's YouTube for paid advertising. That's it.
So I'm going to just like blow through a couple of these. Some of your guys' answers are going to be on the deep dive. So just be there and come ready with questions there. But how is the power offer stage different than the pre-sold presentation stage?
Very different. Here's why. The pre-sold presentation is selling them on a deep understanding of their root offer and how it is congruent with your solution. But your solution is not the same thing as your offer. Most people get those confused. Your solution is your proven process. Okay, that's your proven process. Your offer is actually tactically what it takes for them to actually pay you to do that proven process for them. Okay. So one is like somebody sold on your proven process. Just to be honest, some of you guys are sold on our proven process today, but you're not you're not yet persuaded that you want to take us up on this offer, right? To do that. And so the power offer is designed to move someone from a place where of going, hey, I really like this proven process, to I'm willing to hand you my credit card to have you implement the proven process.
How does the 1-year handshake deal mean that the price is secure for a year? So I don't want to dive too far into the weeds with this, but the partner program, like, think about it this way. Have you ever had a partnership that was 1 month long, or a marriage that was only 3 months long? Well, I mean, I would hope not. Right. So this is really it. We intend to, like, our perfect patron is someone willing to work with us for a year and being willing to grow over that amount of time, which is why we can make this so affordable for us to even invest our time in building the done for you aspect. So if you just want to do month to month and you're saying, I'm not sure if I'm not sure about this, you can do the 297 and there's just no done for you set up there. And you'd be able to kind of go through some of that content on your own, import it, customize it yourself, do your domain mapping, and some of the done for you steps that are also added as a benefit. So, but I'd put it this way, like you're buying a 2,997 offer, or you're putting it on a payment plan to spread it out over the year. That's the way to think about it. But frankly, this is pretty much a 15K offer. It's like a 15K value, being brought down. So I would say, just look at it kind of in that way. How do you set up the landing pages? You're going to get all those. They're literally share codes. So you can click a button and import them directly into your DropFunnels account, and drag and drop, click, edit. It's pretty simple. Here's a good one from Aubrey for an individual example, and then we'll wrap here in the next 5 minutes. So any last questions, guys, throw them in and we'll answer those. Your life insurance guy's example, what was the blind spot that he was facing in terms of his offer?
Good question, Aubrey. Yeah, the biggest thing for him was not understanding their superpower. That's what I talked about earlier, because he's in a very saturated space, right? And what the disconnect was for them is they didn't really understand how to communicate their superpower to the right perfect patron, the group of people who actually celebrated and needed what they do. And so as a result of that, they're in a very, very transactional industry where people are like price shopping you and just kind of like, can you beat my price on this, or, whatever. And instead they were connecting with their actual perfect patron who really celebrated and needed their differentiated way of taking care of all their financial services needs. And when their perfect patron saw their proven process and the promised land it would get them to and the painful problems it would solve for them, very specifically and clearly defined, no techno babble insurance industry speak, that's when people started just booking appointments with them, right? The right people booking appointments, being pre-framed to buy.
Let me ask you this. Is that more a vehicle dependent on that sales conversation, or on the power of like the perfect headline on pages?
I think what's the vehicle as far as them being pre-framed?
As in, like, what was the biggest change that was made? Was it page design or headlines or the videos or the
I think it's actually the most important thing, Jordan, is that there's congruency throughout. In communication, you have to say something 7 times for people to hear it for the first time. And so a lot of copywriting is all about kind of sexy and new and curiosity and whatever, but it ignores this basic idea that it's like, if you don't say the same thing in a slightly different way 7 times to someone, they're not getting it most of the time. They're not getting it. They're not actually hearing it and understanding it. So it's got to be congruent, right? All the way from the very first interaction they ever have with your company, an ad, a social media post or whatever, all the way throughout their customer journey where they keep hearing the same thing. And it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until they're pre-sold and they're like, I'm ready.
It's like a pot warming up the frog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty a brutal, example, but yeah, that's definitely the case. I also think as a response to that as well, you could have the world's greatest offer, right? We talk a lot here in DropFunnels about having a really great ultimate core offer. But if no one hears about that offer and no one sees the offer, meaning that there's no traffic coming in, there's no eyeballs even hearing the message, it's like a tree falling in the woods and no one hears it, right? So I'd be very cautious to misdiagnose having a broken offer for just not having traffic or not even having a system in place to kick it off. In fact, we kind of have a rule around here that you only need 20% clarity. That is our rule. You need 20% clarity to go build something, launch it, get it out to the world. And the rest of the 80% really comes through experience. And by doing, you're going to hear more, get feedback, and then refine things. Right. But if there's 0 clicks to a website, it's irrational for me to think that anybody could buy because I haven't had the data set yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I also think there's an important part of starting to get comfortable on video. Like, I don't think all of us were like natively born great at doing video. No, it only happens because we get used to it. Shoot a video on Facebook for 30 days straight, and you are going to be so comfortable. Like, people will think you've been doing it for your entire life. So it's a big differentiator between thinking that you don't have the skill versus you haven't done the skill enough yet. Right. So it's kind of about honing some of that in. Where will the training be accessible? Great question. That's going to be inside, in the partner program portal. You can go to the calendar inside of there and you can register for the deep dive. And we're going to do a webinar just like this. You can register directly for that or see the link. And you'll get all the information there. Then that will be turned into a course that you get to access at any time. So all partners get access to all of our content. And so that'll be built in there as well. How would this apply best for a health and wellness company?
Yeah, it's so powerful because I think in health and wellness, again, it's a very saturated space, which makes standing out more important than ever, right? So the fact that video actually gives you a medium to connect with and build trust and show up as differentiated from what everybody else is saying, to me, like, I think health and wellness is one of the most saturated spaces right now where you need to be innovating unless you want to just get crushed by your bigger, better competitors. I mean, you're dealing with Lady Boss and, all these other crazy big supplement companies and, whatever. So it's like to be able to do some of the things that they're not doing and also to be able to just go right for it, right? Some of these other companies can they can just try a lot of different things and have a lot of different content. But for you to be able to get right in front of your avatar with a very clear, piercing message could be huge. Also, we have a client, Robin Wright, who runs a health and wellness company. We helped her with a pre-sold presentation and a pre-selling video funnel. And she, you can look up the testimonial on our website if you want, but getting her 5 P's of positioning clarified and getting this content in place, she really struggled before getting clients. And when she did, they were always on payment plans. And she started closing full pay for a year of working with her. For a year. Full paid clients up front for a year for the first time. And she was just closing like multiple of them in a week. Whereas before she might get a couple in a month, which is pretty amazing.
It's the power of clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's big. I think that's about it for now, guys. We do want to wrap this up. You can go to dropfunnels.com/unleashed to get logged into this thing. Remember, we are waiving for the first 72 hours, the $1,000 setup fee that will go along with a payment plan, and waiving that entirely. So you can dive into this for $297 a month. You get DropFunnels with it. You get all of our courses, our support, Slack channel. You're going to get this process. You're going to get this setup for you when you join in brand new. And it's either that or $297 for the entire year and save some extra cash that way. It's pretty much a total no-brainer. And we're going to be doing on Monday the deep dive about this. Or if you're watching the replay and you've already missed the live, you can go back to the replay and get access to this forever. So it's going to be super amazing. Well, Richard, dude, this was a ton of fun, man.
So fun.
Good content. Yeah. And
So
a lot to cover and much more that we need to dive into. And we'll be covering that soon. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. You know where to find us, or send a carrier pigeon or something.
We'll see you all Monday, guys. Thanks so much for being part of this webinar. It was an honor to serve you guys and share a bit about this with you, and I hope it was helpful.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.